Ladies and gentlemen, life throws challenges at us every day, but how we respond to them determines the course of our destiny. Today, I want to talk about mastering one of the most powerful tools God has given us, control over our emotions. Life is full of moments where we are faced with pressures that test our patience, resolve, and emotional strength. It might be an unexpected setback, a difficult conversation, or a sudden change that throws our plans into disarray. In these moments, staying calm under pressure becomes one of the most important skills we can cultivate. Remaining calm doesn't mean ignoring the gravity of the situation or pretending that it doesn't affect you. Instead, it means grounding yourself, maintaining clarity, and choosing how to respond in a way that reflects wisdom and strength rather than impulse or frustration. When the pressure is on, our emotions often try to take control. Fear might whisper that we're not capable. Anger may demand immediate action. Stress can cause us to feel overwhelmed and tempted to give up entirely. But emotions, while real and valid, are not always reliable guides. They are temporary, often heightened by the urgency of the moment, and can lead us to make decisions that we later regret. To stay calm under pressure, we must develop the discipline to pause and assess the situation without letting emotions dictate our next steps. One of the most effective ways to stay calm under pressure is to focus on perspective. Pressure often feels overwhelming because we are looking at the situation from the center of it. Everything seems heightened and urgent when it is happening to us directly. But when we step back and look at the bigger picture, we often find that the problem isn't as insurmountable as it initially seemed. Ask yourself, will this matter a year from now? Is this moment defining my entire life, or is it just a temporary challenge? By zooming out, you allow yourself to see things more clearly and recognize that you are not powerless. There's always a way forward, but you can only find it when you approach the situation with a calm and focused mind. Another key to staying calm is controlling your thoughts. The mind is where pressure often starts to build. A single thought of doubt can quickly spiral into a flood of negativity if we allow it to. Thoughts like, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if everything goes wrong can magnify the pressure and make it seem unbearable? But you have the power to redirect those thoughts. Instead of focusing on the worst case scenario, choose to think about the opportunities in front of you. Remind yourself of times when you overcame challenges in the past. If you've made it through before, you can make it through again. By anchoring your mind to positive, constructive thoughts, you'll find it easier to stay calm and centered even in the midst of chaos. Your breathing also plays a powerful role in maintaining calmness under pressure. When we're stressed, our breathing becomes shallow and rapid, which sends signals to the brain that we are in danger. This heightens the body's stress response, making it even harder to think clearly. But by taking slow, deep breaths, you can interrupt this cycle. Deep breathing calms the nervous system, lowers your heart rate, and helps you regain control over your body and mind. In those moments of pressure, stop and take a few deliberate breaths. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly. It may seem simple, but this practice can create a powerful shift in how you feel and respond to the situation. Preparation is another way to build calmness into your life. While we can't predict every challenge that will come our way, we can develop habits and strategies that prepare us to handle them with grace. Think of it like training for a race. You don't wait until the day of the event to start running. You build your endurance and strength over time. Similarly, by cultivating habits like mindfulness, regular aura meditation, and positive thinking, you build a reservoir of inner peace that you can draw from when the pressure is on. When your foundation is strong, external pressures lose their ability to shake you. Sometimes staying calm under pressure means letting go of what you cannot control. Many times, pressure feels unbearable because we are trying to fix everything at once or force outcomes that are beyond our reach. But not everything is meant for us to handle. Recognize what is within your control and focus your energy there. Release the rest. When you stop striving to control the uncontrollable, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and allow yourself to focus on what truly matters. Finally, staying calm under pressure requires trust not just in yourself, but in the process and the timing of life. Every challenge has the potential to teach us something valuable, even if it's not immediately clear. Trust that you have what it takes to navigate the situation, and trust that the outcome, whatever it may be, will ultimately work for your growth and good. Guarding your heart is one of the most important things you can do to maintain peace and emotional stability in a world filled with negativity, challenges, and distractions. The heart is not just the seat of emotions, it's the core of your being, the place where your thoughts, feelings, and decisions come together. When your heart is unsettled, it affects every area of your life, your relationships, your work, your outlook on the future. That's why it's essential to protect it, to be intentional about what you allow in, and to make choices that nurture your inner peace rather than disturb it. The truth is, we live in a world that constantly tries to pull us in different directions. Negative news, critical people, unexpected setbacks. These are just some of the things that can weigh on your heart if you're not careful. Every day we're presented with opportunities to be offended, discouraged, or overwhelmed. It might be a harsh word from a coworker, a misunderstanding with a loved one, or a challenge that seems too big to overcome. If we're not intentional about guarding our hearts, these moments can take root, growing into bitterness, anxiety, or frustration that robs us of our joy and peace. Guarding your heart starts with being mindful of what you expose yourself to. Just as you wouldn't allow harmful substances into your body, you need to be cautious about what you allow into your mind and spirit. Pay attention to the conversations you engage in, the media you consume, and the people you surround yourself with. Are they lifting you up, or are they dragging you down? Are they filling you with hope and positivity, or are they feeding negativity and fear? You have the power to choose what you allow into your heart. When you make choices that align with peace, you create an environment where your heart can thrive. Another key aspect of guarding your heart is learning to manage offense. Offense is one of the quickest ways to disturb your peace and poison your heart. People will say and do things that are hurtful, whether intentionally or unintentionally. But you don't have to take the bait. When you hold on to offense, you're not punishing the other person, you're punishing yourself. It's like carrying around a heavy weight that only grows heavier the longer you hold it. Letting go of offense doesn't mean condoning bad behavior. It means choosing to prioritize your peace over the need to be right or vindicated. When you release offense, you free your heart to focus on what truly matters. Guarding your heart also means being intentional about your thoughts. Your heart and mind are deeply connected, and what you dwell on mentally will eventually settle into your heart. If you constantly replay negative scenarios or dwell on worst-case outcomes, you're planting seeds of fear, doubt, and worry. But if you choose to focus on what is good, true, and uplifting, you'll cultivate a heart filled with hope and fortitude. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It means choosing to see the good in every situation and trusting that even in difficult times, there's something to be learned or gained. One of the most effective ways to guard your heart is to establish boundaries. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out or avoiding challenges. They're about protecting what's important. Know your limits and communicate them clearly. If certain relationships or situations consistently disturb your peace, it's okay to take a step back. You're not obligated to absorb everyone else's negativity or carry their burdens. Protecting your heart is not selfish, it's necessary. When your heart is healthy, you're better equipped to love and support others in a meaningful way. Another powerful tool for guarding your heart is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, from what you lack to what you have. It's hard for negativity to take root in a heart that's full of thankfulness. Even in difficult times, there's always something to be grateful for: the breath in your lungs, the beauty of a new day, the people who care about you. When you make gratitude a daily practice, you strengthen your heart and create a shield against the negativity that tries to invade it. Finally, guarding your heart requires self-awareness. Pay attention to how you're feeling and take time to check in with yourself regularly. If you notice that your heart feels heavy or unsettled, take steps to address it. Pray, meditate, talk to someone you trust, or spend time doing something that nourishes your spirit. Don't ignore the warning signs. Just as you wouldn't ignore physical pain, don't ignore emotional or spiritual discomfort. Your heart is too valuable to neglect. Guard it, nurture it, and make it a priority. Responding rather than reacting is one of the most crucial habits we can develop in our lives. It is the ability to pause, assess, and choose a thoughtful course of action instead of being driven by impulsive emotions or the heat of the moment. In challenging situations, it's easy to react without thinking, whether it's snapping back at someone who upset us, rushing into a decision out of fear, or letting frustration dictate our actions. But these instant reactions often lead to regret, misunderstanding, and outcomes that don't serve our best interests. Responding, on the other hand, is a conscious choice. It's about taking control of the moment, deciding how to act in a way that aligns with wisdom and purpose. When you react, you are giving power to the situation or the person who triggered your emotions. It's like being a puppet with your strings pulled by external circumstances. A harsh word from someone, a delay in your plans, or an unexpected challenge can easily set off a chain reaction if you're not careful. The problem is these reactions are rarely productive. They tend to escalate the situation, damage relationships, or create unnecessary stress. But when you respond, you take back control. You decide how to handle the situation in a way that reflects your values and long-term goals, not just your immediate feelings. The first step to responding rather than reacting is learning to pause. That pause, even if it's just a few seconds, can make all the difference. It creates a buffer between the stimulus and your response, giving you time to think before you act. In that pause, you can ask yourself important questions. What's really going on here? How do I want to handle this? What outcome am I looking for? These questions shift your focus from the immediate emotion to the bigger picture, helping you make a decision that you'll feel good about later. The pause isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about giving yourself the space to process them without being controlled by them. Another important aspect of responding is choosing to listen before you act. In many situations, our initial reaction is based on incomplete information or assumptions. Someone says something that offends us, and we immediately jump to conclusions about their intentions. But often, if we take the time to listen and understand the full context, we realize that the situation isn't what we thought it was. Listening allows us to approach the situation with empathy and clarity, reducing the likelihood of unnecessary conflict or misunderstanding. Responding also involves managing your emotions. Emotions are powerful, and they can either guide you to positive action or lead you down a destructive path. To respond effectively, you need to recognize your emotions without letting them take over. This doesn't mean suppressing how you feel. It means acknowledging your feelings and then deciding how to act on them in a constructive way. For example, if you're angry, instead of lashing out, you might use that energy to address the issue calmly and assertively. If you're afraid, instead of shutting down, you might take a step forward with caution and courage. Managing your emotions is a skill that takes practice, but it's essential for responding thoughtfully. Another key to responding rather than reacting is focusing on the solution instead of the problem. Reactions are often driven by frustration with what's wrong, but responses are guided by a desire to make things right. When you're faced with a challenge, ask yourself, what can I do to improve this situation? What steps can I take to move forward? Shifting your focus from the problem to the solution not only helps you stay calm, but also empowers you to take constructive action. It's a mindset that turns obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones. Self-awareness is also critical in developing the habit of responding. When you're aware of your triggers and patterns, you're better equipped to handle them. Pay attention to the situations that tend to set you off and think about why they affect you so strongly. Is it a fear of being misunderstood, a need to feel in control, or unresolved past experiences? Understanding these underlying factors can help you respond more effectively when similar situations arise. Instead of falling into the same reactive patterns, you can choose a new approach that aligns with your growth and goals. Patience plays a significant role in learning to respond. Many situations that provoke a reaction are temporary and will pass if given enough time. But reacting too quickly can escalate the issue or create unnecessary complications. Patience allows you to step back, let emotions settle, and gain a clearer perspective. It's not about avoiding action, it's about taking the right action at the right time. When you practice patience, you demonstrate strength and maturity, qualities that not only benefit you, but also inspire those around you. Lastly, responding rather than reacting is about trusting yourself. It's about believing in your ability to handle whatever comes your way without being overwhelmed by it. When you trust yourself, you don't feel the need to prove anything to others or to act out of insecurity. You can approach situations with confidence, knowing that you have the wisdom and composure to make the best decision. Trusting yourself also means forgiving yourself when you fall short. None of us are perfect, and there will be times when we react instead of responding. But each moment is an opportunity to learn, grow, and do better next time. Not giving away your power means maintaining control over your thoughts, emotions, and reactions regardless of what's happening around you. It is about refusing to let other people or circumstances dictate how you feel or act. When you give away your power, you allow someone else to influence your peace of mind, your mood, and sometimes even your decisions. This can leave you feeling drained, frustrated, or resentful. But when you choose to keep your power, you take responsibility for your own emotional well-being and refuse to let external forces disrupt your inner peace. One of the most common ways people give away their power is by allowing others to control their emotions. Someone might say something hurtful or do something disrespectful, and immediately you feel anger, frustration, or sadness. While those feelings are natural, it's important to recognize that you have a choice in how you respond to them. You don't have to let their words or actions ruin your day. When you let someone else's behavior dictate your emotions, you hand them the keys to your happiness. But when you stay calm, remind yourself of your worth, and choose not to take things personally, you keep your power where it belongs with you. Keeping your power doesn't mean ignoring bad behavior or letting people walk all over you. It means addressing situations with confidence and composure rather than reacting impulsively. For example, if someone criticizes you unfairly, you can choose to respond with grace instead of defensiveness. You might calmly explain your perspective or simply decide not to engage. Either way, you remain in control. By refusing to let negativity pull you down, you show strength and maturity, which often disarms the other person and diffuses the situation. Another way people give away their power is by seeking validation from others. When you rely on other people's approval to feel good about yourself, you make your self-worth dependent on something external and unpredictable. This creates a cycle where you constantly need reassurance, leaving you vulnerable to criticism or rejection. Keeping your power means knowing your value and being confident in who you are, regardless of what others think. It's about trusting yourself and your decisions, even if they aren't popular or widely understood. When you stop seeking validation from others, you free yourself from their opinions and take full ownership of your sense of self. Allowing fear to control your actions is another way people give away their power. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown can paralyze you and keep you from pursuing your goals. It's important to recognize that fear is often based on imagined scenarios rather than the reality. When you let fear dictate your choices, you're giving it power over your life. But when you face your fears head on and take action despite them, you reclaim that power. Each step you take in courage weakens fear's grip and strengthens your confidence. Resentment is another form of giving away your power. When you hold on to resentment, you're allowing past hurt to influence your present state of mind. It's like carrying a heavy load that slows you down and keeps you stuck in negativity. The person who hurt you may have moved on, but as long as you hold on to resentment, they continue to have power over you. Letting go of resentment doesn't mean forgetting what happened or condoning the behavior. It means choosing to prioritize your peace over the pain. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful ways to reclaim your energy and move forward with freedom and clarity. Taking responsibility for your own happiness is a cornerstone of keeping your power. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming others or external circumstances for how you feel. You might think, if only they would change, I'd be happy, or if this situation were different, I'd feel better, but the truth is, happiness is an inside job. No one else is responsible for your well-being, and waiting for circumstances to align perfectly will only leave you frustrated. When you take responsibility for your happiness, you stop relying on external factors and start creating the life you'll want, no matter what's going on around you. Maintaining your power also involves setting boundaries. People will often push, demand, or take as much as you allow them to. If you don't set clear limits, you risk overextending yourself and feeling resentful. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about protecting your time, energy, and emotional health. When you set boundaries, you communicate your needs and expectations clearly, which not only protects your peace, but also strengthens your relationships. Healthy boundaries show others that you value yourself and encourage them to respect you as well. Lastly, keeping your power means staying rooted in the present moment. Worrying about the future or dwelling on the past can drain your energy and make you feel powerless. The only moment you truly have control over is the present. By focusing on what you can do right now, you maximize your ability to influence your circumstances and create positive change. Staying present helps you avoid getting caught up in regrets about the past or anxiety about the future, both of which can rob you of your strength and clarity. Understanding the power of choice is one of the most liberating realizations you can have in life. Every day, in every situation, you're presented with choices how to think, how to respond, how to move forward. While you may not have control over everything that happens to you, you always have control over how you choose to handle it. That power to choose is what gives you freedom and allows you to shape your life regardless of your circumstances. When you fully embrace this truth, you stop feeling like a victim of life's challenges and start taking charge of your own story. Choice begins with your thoughts. Your mind is the starting point for everything you do. The way you think determines the way you feel, and the way you feel influences the actions you take. If your thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, or negativity, it will reflect in your decisions in the direction of your life. But if you choose to focus on possibilities, solutions, and hope, you open the door to progress and growth. The beauty of this is that you don't have to wait for circumstances to change to start thinking differently. You can choose right now to shift your mindset and change the narrative running through your mind. When challenges come your way, it can feel like you have no choice but to react to them. However, even in the most difficult situations, you have a choice in how you respond. You can choose to dwell on what's wrong, or you can choose to focus on what you can do to make it better. You can choose to let fear paralyze you, or you can choose to take a step forward in courage. You can choose to hold on to anger and resentment, or you can choose to let go and prioritize your peace. These choices are not always easy, but they are always available. And the more you practice making empowering choices, the stronger and more resilient you become. Choosing your attitude is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. Life isn't always fair and things won't always go according to plan. But you can choose to maintain a positive attitude even in the face of adversity. A positive attitude doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It means deciding to focus on what you can control rather than what you can't, and choosing to look for the good in every situation. When you approach life with a positive attitude, you not only feel better, but you also inspire those around you and create an atmosphere of possibility. Another important choice is how you spend your time. Time is one of the most valuable resources you have, and how you use it will greatly influence the quality of your life. You can choose to waste time on things that don't add value, complaining, procrastinating, or engaging in activities that drain your energy. Or you can choose to invest your time in things that uplift you, help you grow, and bring you closer to your goals. Every moment is an opportunity to make a choice, and those small daily choices add up to create the bigger picture of your life. Your relationships are another area where the power of choice plays a vital role. You can't always choose how others treat you, but you can choose how you respond. You can choose to surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you, or you can choose to distance yourself from those who consistently bring negativity into your life. In conflicts, you can choose to seek understanding and resolution, or you can choose to let pride and anger take over. The quality of your relationships is directly influenced by the choices you make. And by being intentional in this area, you can build connections that are healthy, fulfilling, and supportive. Choosing to take responsibility for your life is perhaps the most transformative choice of all. It's easy to blame others or external circumstances for the challenges you face, but doing so only leaves you feeling powerless. When you take responsibility, you reclaim your power. You recognize that while you can't control everything, you do have the ability to make decisions that shape your path. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything that goes wrong. It means acknowledging your role in creating change and moving forward with intention. The power of choice also applies to your goals and dreams. It's easy to let fear of failure or doubt hold you back from pursuing what you truly want. But you have the choice to take action, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. You can choose to believe in yourself and your abilities, even when others don't. You can choose to keep going, even when progress feels slow. Every step you take to move closer to your potential, and those choices build momentum over time. Ultimately, understanding the power of choice means recognizing that your life is shaped not just by what happens to you, but by how you choose to respond. Each moment is an opportunity to make a decision that moves you closer to the person you want to be and the life you want to live. When you embrace this truth, you unlock the freedom to create a life filled with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. Focusing on what you can control is a powerful principle that can transform how you navigate life's challenges. In a world full of uncertainty and unpredictability, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by circumstances that seem beyond your influence. Worry, frustration, and stress often come from trying to manage things that are outside your control, other people's actions, unexpected events, or outcomes that don't align with your expectations. But when you shift your attention to what you can control, you take back your power, reduce unnecessary stress, and create a sense of calm even in the midst of chaos. This practice doesn't just bring peace, it helps you channel your energy into making meaningful changes and progress in your life. One of the most important things you can control is your mindset. Life is full of situations that don't go as planned, but you always have a choice in how you perceive them. You can choose to see obstacles as roadblocks or as opportunities to grow. You can decide whether to focus on what's going wrong or on what you can learn from the experience. While you may not be able to change every circumstance, you can change how you interpret it, and that can make all the difference. A mindset focused on possibilities and solutions empowers you to take action and move forward, no matter how difficult the situation may seem. Your actions are another area where you have complete control. While you can't always predict the outcome, you can choose how you show up every day. You can decide to give your best effort to persevere and to approach each task with dedication and focus. When faced with a challenge, you can either dare dwell on the difficulty or take steps to address it. Action, even small steps, builds momentum and helps you regain a sense of control. It reminds you that you are not powerless, that you have the ability to influence your own life through the choices you make. Another thing you can control is your attitude. Attitude is a reflection of your inner perspective, and it shapes how you interact with the world around you. In difficult situations, it's easy to default to negativity or frustration. But you can choose to approach challenges with optimism and a willingness to adapt. A positive attitude doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing to focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. It's about finding the silver lining, even in tough times, and maintaining hope that things can improve. When you adopt a positive attitude, you not only uplift yourself, but also inspire those around you. You can also control the way you treat others. In every interaction, you have the power to choose kindness, patience, and understanding. While you can't control how others behave, you can control your own responses. You can decide to respond calmly instead of reacting with anger, to forgive instead of holding on to resentment, and to encourage instead of criticize. The way you treat others has a ripple effect, influencing your relationships and the environment around you. When you focus on being a source of positivity, you create a space where growth and connection can thrive. Your priorities and where you direct your energy are entirely within your control. It's easy to get caught up in distractions, worrying about things that ultimately don't matter, or trying to control aspects of life that are beyond your reach. But when you take the time to identify what's truly important to you, your goals, values, and relationships, you can align your actions with those priorities. By focusing on what matters most, you ensure that your time and energy are invested in ways that bring fulfillment and meaning to your life. Self-discipline is another area where you have significant control. Whether it's sticking to a routine, managing your habits, or maintaining focus on your goals, self-discipline is about making choices that serve your long-term well-being rather than succumbing to short-term impulses. While it takes effort to develop, self-discipline gives you the power to stay on track even when distractions or challenges arise. It's about holding yourself accountable and taking consistent action toward the life you want to create. Letting go of what you can't control is just as important as focusing on what you can. This doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It means recognizing that some things are simply outside your sphere of influence. Worrying about those things only drains your energy and distracts you from what you can actually change. Letting go requires trust that things will work out as they're meant to, and that you'll be able to handle whatever comes your way. It's a decision to release anxiety and to focus your attention on areas where you can make a difference. Your reactions to setbacks and challenges are also within your control. Life will inevitably bring difficulties, but you can choose how to respond. You can let a setback define you, or you can use it as fuel to keep going. You can decide to see failure as the end, or as a stepping stone to something greater. Resilience is built in these moments, not by avoiding challenges, but by choosing to face them with courage and determination. Ultimately, focusing on what you can control is about reclaiming your agency and embracing the role you play in shaping your own life. It's about recognizing that while you can't dictate every outcome, you have the power to influence your journey through your thoughts, actions, and choices. By concentrating on what's within your reach, you cultivate peace, purpose, and the confidence to move forward, no matter what life brings. In closing, remember that mastering your emotions is not about suppressing them or denying their existence. It's about choosing how to navigate them with wisdom and intention. Life will always present challenges, frustrations, and moments of uncertainty. But you have the power to respond in a way that aligns with your values, preserves your peace, and moves you closer to your goals. By keeping your power, focusing on what you can control, and embracing the strength of choice, you set yourself on a path of resilience and clarity. Let go of what doesn't serve you and anchor yourself in the present moment. When you choose to control your emotions instead of letting them control you, you create a life that is not only more peaceful, but also more fulfilling and purposeful. You have everything you need within you to rise above negativity, face challenges with courage, and create the future you envision. Step into that strength and let it guide you forward with confidence and grace.